During the Occupy movement in 2011, I remember being out in Washington, D.C. for Occupy Washington, D.C., also going to the one in Providence, Rhode Island, going to the one in San Diego, Houston, Austin, and many of these others. You know, we traveled to a whole lot of these different Occupy. Right. And there's one thing that was common, and that was you would rarely see cameras in all these campsites that were very well staffed and very well organized. In fact, we had to have our own media. That's kind of where politics done right really came in its own right. When I heard Lawrence O'Donnell say this yesterday, it was like, thank you.
A tiny minority, wants to pretend that nothing has happened. A tiny minority with guns marched into the state capitol in Michigan today to lobby in their raucous way against the governor's request that the legislature extend Michigan's stay-at-home order. The Republican legislature bent to the will of a couple of hundred people with guns in a state of 10 million people. Of course, America has everything, so America has a tiny number of people, relatively speaking, around the country who protest sane, scientific safety measures to keep them alive. And since television cameras love the colorful, and what's more colorful than protesters with guns, TV news will always wildly overemphasize that kind of protest, which in fact only represents a very tiny sliver of the American population. Protests of the same size for any liberal cause in America would not attract a single television camera.
You got that right, but I tell you something, it doesn't matter if it's that small size or a large size. Getting cameras for liberal protests is very difficult. You know, we spent 52 consecutive weekends on a corner here in Kingwood, Texas, a very red conservative town with anywhere between 10 and 50 protesters with signs lining the entire thing, and people would call out and they would curse at us. They'll come out and they would throw things at us, and of course they would have good discussion as well. And the only time we got any serious media was when we completed the 52nd week, and we called up every station and we contacted everyone to say this was 52 consecutive weeks of protest. And they came, did a short story, and that was it. Consistently, liberal protests by design are denied access to the media because the policies we support are the policies most Americans want, or most Americans will find attractive for their own personal economies and their social and health well-being. I'm Egberto Willies, host of Politics Done Right, an independent news program. I post several news videos of interest every day. I ask you so kindly to subscribe to my channel, and please leave me some comments. Thank you very much.